My husband has a card hobby, and it's destroying our marriage.
The hobby is alive and well. The hobby is alive and well.
I need advice. My husband and I have been married for 5 years with a 3-year-old daughter, and my husband's card hobby is destroying our marriage. I've never heard that one before. For background, last year, he started getting into wanting a hobby/business and is buying and selling NFL NBA cards, which he started after having gambling issues with roulette.
Oh, no.
By the way, this comes from user ConsciousShine8265, and if you want to submit your stories, go over to the r/OK Storytime subreddit and submit them there. He ended up hiding how much he was spending, putting at least $8,000 on the credit cards in 2 to 3 months without him selling any cards. I am the breadwinner in the family as well. I make approximately $7,200 a month post-taxes, and he makes about $4,000 a month post-taxes. Before having the hobby, he also bought a $90,000 car with a $1,745 car payment because it made him happy, although I said it was not a good idea. Girl, not a good idea? You can't afford that.
That wasn't an idea.
Due to the spending issue and other factors like him having anger issues, I filed for divorce last year. Yeah, he said he would quit the hobby and sell all his things, do therapy, and change. I canceled the divorce and stayed to work on the marriage with a marriage counselor. We did sessions, but over time, he hasn't felt like they've been necessary. We now have $72,000 in debt consolidation because of cards, his past gambling, as well as multiple different things. 1 year later, he's now into his hobby again, and he's already put about $800 on the credit cards. He is trying to use TikTok and whatnot to do a game platform and make money. His philosophy is you have to spend money to make money. For example, he wanted to buy $1,000 worth of packs of unopened cards to try and sell them. When I explained that I'm not a fan of this hobby, he says I can't ever let him have a hobby. And I'm glad it's not golf because he would never be home. At this point, do golf.
Do golf.
Do golf.
It's not your... Oh, because he would be gambling on golf too.
I mean, at least then he'd be an athlete.
At least he'd be putting some energy into it and get some sun. He like, watch guys, I can do a hole-in-one, $1,000.
That's a crazy bet. I honestly feel like this is not going to end well. We have also tried splitting finances, but that wasn't the best as he was not always able to pay me back for half the mortgage or our daughter's school. I really just don't think this marriage is going to last unless I support this hobby and let him buy and spend whatever he thinks is necessary.
No, stop. Don't support this.
Why are we supporting the man-child
who makes half the income and you're the breadwinner?
Clearly, he needs support for his gambling problem because this is just an extension of that.
The card hobby that he's describing right now, there are collectors. He is a gambler.
Yes. I guarantee you if he buys $1,000 worth of unopened packs and he doesn't sell them in a day and a half, those packs are going to get opened.
He's not going to make his money back.
Update. I went through his eBay account and found he put 2 bids for a $1,500 card and $1,900 card and made an offer to a third card for $1,900. I also forgot to put our ages. I'm 32 and he is 42.
The hobby's alive and well.
Update number 2, got into an argument and said I was not happy and wanted a divorce. His reply was, I told you I wouldn't let the hobby ruin the family and I'll get rid of everything, etc. My reply was, that's beside the point, which, yes, at this point, that's not even the main concern. It's everything else. Here's some comments. Number 1, he doesn't have a hobby. He has an addiction, and that is gambling. Opening trading card packs is the same thing as gambling, only in this case, you're hoping to hit it big with that one card that sells for hundreds of thousands. Trading cards can be a hobby if one responsibly collects and buys single cards that they want for their hobby, and at times open packs for the fun of it. Your husband is not doing that. He needs to address and get treatment for his gambling problems, and due to gambling's close association with collecting trading cards, he's going to need to give it up. If he can't, not only will your marriage not survive, he will ruin his life financially beyond repair. Comment number 2 is you're going to be so amazed at how much more money you have after you divorce him.
Yeah.
Number 3, ma'am, at this point, you are the problem as much as he is. You aren't putting your foot down. You aren't protecting yourself. You're allowing it to continue. Wake up, walk out, or get him in with an addiction therapist and cut off all his access to money and cards. You can do this. You deserve better. OP replies, I totally agree with you. I started seeing a therapist to help me with this as well. And we have another update. I'm just going to say this, and then we're going to continue with the update.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I'm going to talk about?
I think you're going to say the divorce is the right thing.
Yes, but what was the biggest red flag?
Well, obviously the husband just gaslighting the wife, or OP, and that the card hobby is just a hobby and not an addiction. And spending the money he's going to make the profit back.
Honestly, that was a way more thoughtful answer. Mine doesn't even have anything to do with the cards. The $90,000 luxury vehicle that he cannot afford that was paid for on your dime.
Because it makes him happy.
What are we doing? All right? That is a huge no-no. Red flag.
We're going to get back to the story, but Sam, you have a copious amount of something.
What, John?
X's.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6.
I heard of 6 with a 0
All
behind
right,
it.
that 60 number, comes from somewhere else.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our OK Storytime membership.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Join a club almost as exclusive as Sam's X's. Well, let's get back to the story.
Update. I have asked for a divorce 2 days ago.
Okay.
But he told me he still wanted to be together. Today, it was brought up again, and he said he would get the divorce, and he has accepted it. Well, that's good at least.
At least he's not gambling that.
Man, it's just such a shame, dude. He's clearly has a problem, but
well, OP tried. OP tried. OP tried with therapy and, putting their foot down and communicating, and obviously it didn't do a damn thing.
It's out of your hands at this point. You've done what you can. I have a great sense of relief, yet a significant amount of grief. Grief for the past, the present, and future, as well as not knowing what the future will hold, and if I made the right choice for my daughter. The relief is knowing I won't have to worry about any hobbies or being yelled at and called names for reasons that are dumb. We have not obtained a lawyer, but I assume we would do that in the upcoming weeks. I hope this was the best decision for both of us, and we can have a happy future apart for our daughter. And by the way, you can have a happy future with us by listening to full episodes with stories like this one.
Just like this one.
All you have to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, and search OK Storytime. Simple as that. Before we finish the story, because there's a little bit left, I do like where we're at here. I like that, she made the hard decision. She said, we're getting the divorce.
And I know she's still wondering if this is the best option for her daughter. In the hindsight, 1,000%. I know it sucks, but this is the best option.
If he refuses to get treatment for his gambling problems, like that is 100% going to impact your daughter down the line if you are a joint household.
Because guess what? He's not only financially abusing the family right now, but he's also emotionally abusing you, and that's just that's an environment.
That's unacceptable.
That's not an environment for anyone to be in, let alone a child.
This dum-dum who's spending thousands of dollars on sports cards that he's opening, which is not how you make money, is berating you about you doing dumb things? It's just not something you do in a loving relationship with your wife that you have a child with.
Yeah.
So he's got his own problems to work out, and it's best that he does it away from you and your child. And the grief is understandable, but with some counseling and some time, I think you'll find that you have made the right decision here.
And I think if he finally understands where his life is going, hopefully it hits him, sooner rather than later. But maybe he'll understand, and then maybe he can still be a figure in your child's life. But right now, he needs to learn the hard way, because it just keeps like repeating of, okay, I'll do this, but let me keep doing this.
Yeah.
It hasn't stopped. So that's unfortunate, but this is how you stop someone.
At some point, you can probably consider finding a path to co-parenting,
Yes.
So let's finish this story. If there's any advice for life during the divorce process and after with children involved, we do have one daughter who is turning 3, then I would love that as well. Cheers to new beginnings. And there is another update.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for the advice and support. Definitely made the right decision, as now he decides cards weren't his thing and he's looking into doing e-commerce. Looking at getting my own lawyer and moving out. And we do have some comments here. Comment 1, I'm echoing everywhere here. There is no we in lawyer. You need to go get the best divorce attorney in town before he does. You have loads of financial baggage to unpack with his gambling and hobbies and his not always paying me back for our child. Your lawyer and you may, and that is a should from my eyes, want a forensic accountant to take a good look at all of his finances and make sure you are actually aware of the whole truth. That will include making sure there aren't things in your name that you're unaware of. Yes, you did a debt consolidation information, but that doesn't mean you saw everything. And since you have a child who he had shorted in the past, getting a support order with extra insurances built in will be your lawyer's job. Maybe you want him to fund 3 or 6 months up front because he's demonstrated that he's reckless with money. You probably want a judge to agree to direct garnishment of his wages rather than money going to him first. Once money is in his hands, he's irresponsible. Prove that point and get the garnishment. So, and this is the voice of experience, you need a really good lawyer who has experience working with complex financial settlements. This isn't a standard, here we agree, we just want out divorce that any family lawyer could handle. Start asking around. Ask your banker or your investment person for recommendations. And if you don't have these types of people, your friends might. Network around. Good luck. It sounds like you're making the right choice. Now just steel yourself to probably have to have a fight to ensure he contributes his share to his daughter and to you. This is all phenomenal advice, I think. Like,
this is sound.
I feel like OP's a little too nonchalant.
I would agree on that.
You need to go get a good one.
OP
a good
has,
attorney.
I think OP's just trying not to let go and like trying to find a situation or a solution that can make the best possible outcome. It's not working.
This is going to end in conflict, I think. Because your husband has a gambling problem, if he maybe sees an opportunity to get money out of you in the divorce, he probably will take it. So I don't know. I would go get a really good attorney like this person is saying.
Yeah. You want to stop enabling his actions.
Don't let it feel mean to you to want a garnishment. Don't let him or your inner monologue or anyone else tell you that turning over all the stones in his financial dealings is wrong or too hard on him or not trusting, blah, blah, blah. Any divorce is tragic. Many divorces are complicated, and yours is one of them because of his financial malfeasance. Stay the course for your daughter and for yourself. Oh, and also don't abandon the marital home without legal advice. Generally speaking, if you want to maintain it as a residence for you and your daughter, he has to leave, and a liquidation would be postponed until her maturity or high school graduation. But that might not be feasible given his finances. Just don't move out without direct advice of counsel. Again, best of luck. And there is a second comment. I would check your credit and make sure no credit cards are open that you didn't know about, and then freeze your credit and social security number. I would do a sit down and have one heartfelt talk. His expense will go up and the amount coming in will go down due to your income being gone and him living on his own. That for his own sake, he should get a financial planner and solo counseling, or he could get into some serious debt and with the wrong people. Hopefully you both can continue to be civil for your child. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah, the comments took it away, and I think we also said on top of that the right stuff, and just stop enabling him, and you just got to make sure you put your foot down.
You gotta look out right now. What you need to look out for is you and your daughter. And I think the joint attorney search, not a good idea. You're gonna have to pick a side. But it's still tough, and there's grief involved. You know, OP doesn't want her marriage to end, but at this point, he's kind of backed you in a corner and giving you no other choice.
That's unfortunately the only path. You've done every other option. It seems like you've tried to have a conversation. You tried therapy. It's just unfortunate. And again, this is the best answer for you and your daughter.
True.
But that is the end of that story.